Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 83 of This Week at Shrouded. I'm your host today, Greener. We've got Mr. Wrecked with us. Thanks for being here.
Happy to be here, Greener.
That's right. We got a great show for you today. We're going to talk about WeightGate. We're going to talk about Destiny Rising. We're going to talk about Festival of the Lost. But I think we should just get right into our silver winners. Anyway, so we have two different sets of silver winners this week because it's the beginning of the month or end of the month, however you want to look at it. We've got a monthly silver draw and we've got a weekly silver draw. So we got two winners for 2,300 silver. Those two winners are Tribal Draugr and Lemonades. Congratulations. And our monthly winner of 6,000 silver is JoeJuggernaut. Congratulations. So we got Tribal Draugr, Lemonades, and JoeJuggernaut. Your names will be in the description. It says reach out to me on Discord. I am a Greener. If you're not in our Discord and you won, I know all three of these people are. But if you ever win and you're not in our Discord for some reason, shroudedgaming.com/Discord, giant Destiny community. We want you. We want to play with you in Destiny. And you have a chance to win some silver. So check it out.
Congratulations, folks. And you, Devilito.
Damn.
You can't actually say it in the first few seconds of the video.
No, it's supposed to be 10 minutes before you can say anything nasty. I don't know what happened there or why. Are you just happy you didn't win?
No, I'm just playing with the meme.
Okay.
Even though he hasn't won in a while.
Not buying enough tickets.
Devilito, spend some more loyalty points, man. You've got millions of them.
Spend them all. I'm glad to see Joe's name up there a bunch. Actually, I wanted to get his number down, so that's good. He won a bunch. He's the only one that won a bunch during like the increased gambling rates and didn't lose it immediately afterwards. So I need him to lose. I need to get rid of it. Get rid of it all. Get rid of it all. Anyway, yeah, let's get right into WeightGate. So if you didn't, what?
WeightGate,
whatever.
That's what they're calling it. Yeah.
I'm calling it WeightGate because I am smart. No, anyway, if you didn't know, a bunch of people were complaining that the drops were too low on the grenade launcher from Vesper's host. So they did a bunch of math, and it turned out that there was, based on the distance away each perk column was from one another in the API, there was different chances of receiving different perks, different combinations of perks. And they did this big, huge scale, I don't know, math problem with a bunch of people, with a bunch of drops, and there was a clear pattern. So they were talking about it all over Twitter, all over everywhere. Bungie picked up on it and said, again, like for 47 times, because nobody believed them, that there is no intentional perk weighting, but they couldn't ignore the obvious information that they were receiving. So they grabbed this information and they went behind the scenes and studied potentially why it was happening. They announced that there was a bug that was doing this. I don't know the specific details, but essentially they figured it out. They said they figured it out and they are working on a release to fix the problem. That's just the lowdown of what happened. Now, the internet, of course, lost their mind.
Like it does.
At first, most of the people were just like, "Now, Bungie, you're lying. There's perk weighting. You're doing it on purpose." And when they said 100%, like 12 times, DMG said it. No way. Still, half the people were just like, "Nah, you're full of shit." And then after the data set come out and Bungie took a look at it and acknowledged it and said, "Obviously, we can't ignore this. We'll look into it." And came out with the concept, or they said there was a bug that was creating this perk weighting. People still thought they were doing it intentionally. And even though there was no rhyme or reason, it's not like every single shitty perk was really high and every good like combination of perks were really low. It was completely random. Once they fix it, in fact, there's going to be god rolls that are going to be harder for us to obtain. There will be some that are easier, obviously, but it's going both ways. Some are going to be harder and some are going to be easier. Some will be the same probably, but yeah, that's essentially what it is. I don't know if you want to talk more on people losing their shit, or
I mean, I can talk about I'm happy to talk about the internet drama. But like when Paul Tassi said that basically that this was completely unforgivable, or what was the exact thing he said?
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, I remember he saying unforgivable. He also had another tweet that said, "This is the biggest. If true, this will be the biggest." Shit. Well, yeah, I guess I should have grabbed the tweets. I'm gonna go I don't know. The biggest controversy in Destiny history, or some shit like that.
He said something about it being like inexcusable or unforgivable, or basically like this is the worst thing that could have happened, and Bungie, there's no way for Bungie to make up for it. But I'm like, when he said that, I responded to him. I'm like, so what are you gonna do? Just not play Destiny anymore? Because if you really feel that way, that's your only recourse. Otherwise, this is just somebody getting on a soapbox and yelling into the void. You know? Like,
so pretty much every game journalist.
Well, I mean, there are a couple of people that said similar things, and I'm like, what? You can't say that the game can't come back from something and then just keep playing it. Like, if you're gonna say something like that and you're gonna stand by the shit you say, well, then stop playing the game. Go play something else. Go away from Destiny. Put it down and never come back. Because even if you come back later, this still happened, and it's not the fact that it happened is apparently unforgivable. So
yeah, it didn't magically become forgivable all of a sudden.
Are you angry, or are you just being hyperbolic? You know what I mean?
He just wants clicks, man. That's all he wants.
So I mean, he has a blue check mark. All you check marks just want your fucking people to click on your shit so you can make 2 cents.
I don't make shit off Twitter. This is bullshit.
But we have some people on the server who have been like, I don't want to play the game at all until they fix this because it's not worth my time. And as soon as I heard that, I'm like, has it been worth your time? Like the past almost decade you've been playing the game? Because this has been the engine the entire time. So what's the difference? People are still getting the role.
Yeah, I don't understand why people like maybe care a little bit, but like care at all. Like to me, when they announced this, I'm like, okay, so some roles were harder to get than others.
I mean, listen, it's
so
it being a talking point, especially after Bungie said there's no perk weighting.
Right, of course,
I totally get there being a conversation about that, and the conversation should be around Bungie didn't know that there was perk weighting in their own game. Right, that's the story right there. Not that the perk weightings exist, and I'm not gonna play because it's out there. Like, come on. You've played the game for how many years with this? Again, it's the same kind of thing. Like, it's not changing your experience, really. And it only affects some guns in a negative way.
At all.
The only reason this came to light at all is because it happened to impact a gun, a weapon
that people wanted,
that is 100% top meta in its slot right now. That's the only reason anybody even looked into it. So, it doesn't change anything personal.
even if it was top meta, like there's lots of other things in the game that have been top meta, but it was clear that the drop rate of these perks on this top meta gun was lower.
I mean, we've always known this. We've had this discussion before with other drops. Like, we've known that there have always been commentary. There's always been commentary about certain perk combinations feeling like they're weighted, even if Bungie says they're not, right?
Yeah, well, they were right, kind of.
So it doesn't really change anything for me personally.
Yeah, it doesn't change anything for me either. It never did. It never will. I never thought of perks as, even across the board anyway. Like, I don't know.
I always assumed they were weighted. So.
That's funny. But even with Bungie saying they're not?
Yeah, listen.
Because they've always said they're not.
I'm not... I am not so naive to believe everything a marketing account for a game has to say about the game.
Yeah.
I fully believe that there are marketers, there are people in marketing departments who lie about what's going on with games, or at least are telling half-truths all the time. So
I believe everything Bungie says always. Or I wouldn't be I don't have a beat machine. Beat writer.
I will also say that out of all of the games I've played that have been live service or ongoing games that get frequent updates, there are very few companies that communicate as often and as transparently as they can as Bungie has been about Destiny. Right? There are other games that have dev streams and regular updates and whatever, but I can't think of a whole lot of games that are in this space that have a weekly update or that have, multiple dedicated accounts that are communicating in-game stuff all the time about what's going on in the game or actually responding to people, right? So I can't be too mad about it. I can think Bungie are a bunch of boneheads for not knowing that they had instituted perk weighting in the game, but that's the extent of it for me.
Yeah, I do think that obviously I think it's crazy. I do think it's crazy that the community figured this out for Bungie.
There are a lot of smart people in the community that...
I'm not saying the community's not smart. I'm saying that given this to any other developer, they would have noticed it. I think.
Okay.
They would have noticed it ahead of time. They would have done proper Q&A testing, and they would have seen this in the code somewhere. Because how long did it take them to figure it out? Not very long.
This time where people have been saying perk weighting, Bungie's just like, nah, there's no perk weighting, and didn't even look into it.
I don't think they even fucking looked, because it took them like less than 2 days to find it. If the timeline is proper, and they go, oh, we're looking into this, and then the message that said, we figured it out, it's going to take us like a week or two to fix it. We'll put out a patch.
Okay, well, the next question then is, why do you think that is? Why do you think that is something that's affecting this game, but maybe wouldn't affect other developers in the same way who might have been on top of it a little bit more?
Because Bungie sucks.
I mean, do they? Maybe they don't even have the proper people around to deal with that kind of thing. You would think that this would be something that like QA testers would be looking for, beyond just being in the game and looking at stuff. Like, you'd think they'd have to do enough reps to identify when some of this kind of thing is happening, but
you would think, and a lot of people would argue, well, they don't have QA testers anymore. Well, they did up until last October, and nobody caught this before then.
They still have QA testers. I'm sure they're just outsourced. Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. They're outsourced.
They have sweatshop QA testers. Yeah.
They're not internal. So outsourced QA testers aren't going to do any extra work. They're going to look at exactly what they're told. Whereas if you have it, if you have an in-house team, then they should have seen this. They should have absolutely seen this. I think another developer would have seen it. But I'm not saying every developer. I guess I don't know. It's hard to give Bungie too much of shit. Like they have created like the most popular looter shooter.
They have the most successful looter shooter of all time.
Yeah.
That's it.
People give them a lot of shit. Say it sucks. The game sucks. Well, that's just not the case at all. Clearly, it's good. Clearly, it's amazing. Yes, its quality has gone down.
I say it sucks sometimes, but it's mostly hyperbole. I'm angry.
Yeah. And but I do think it's weird. Yeah, I don't know. Something about Bungie though that just doesn't surprise me for some reason. So I guess they're good, but also they've definitely got some internal problems.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Neither one of us is particularly mad about WeightGate. Sorry.
I was never mad about WeightGate, not even a little bit. I was actually
Sorry, internet.
I'm pretty sure I made fun of people on the internet when I was talking about it recently. I don't know if I just tweeted about it or I was talking about it on the mobile stream I did for Player of the Week last week. But I had mentioned it and I said something about a bunch of fucking dorks that got nothing better to do with their life than do Destiny math or some shit. So we'll see. Anyway, turns out they were right. This was before we knew they were right. We got a free emblem out of it.
Yeah, it's true.
I'll take it.
And
I'll take it.
There's going to be... Bungie has alluded to some kind of make good on the whole situation. So,
but I got an emblem. I don't need anything else.
They've alluded to some kind of loot recompense. Don't know that they've only alluded to it. Like we don't know if that
they
means
should
that
all just they should just
people are just going to get some drops, or if there's going to be something to help you get some drops you're looking for that might have been affected by this.
They should just give everybody every god roll in the game.
Yeah, that'd be super helpful and healthy.
Or they could just give everybody the god roll for the grenade launcher.
I mean, they could do that.
Because that's what caused it, right? People were looking into that because it seemed weighted. Wouldn't it be funny if they looked into it and it was one of the perks that was weighted higher?
Except it wasn't. If you look, you can look at the chart.
I know.
Gun and it's not.
Just wouldn't have been funny. And then they're just like, oh. And then they wouldn't have said nothing, and nobody would have ever seen anything.
Yeah. It's interesting.
But they probably would have wanted clout, so they would have said something anyway. So.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. What's next on the docket?
I guess either Festival of Lost or Destiny Rising. Destiny Rising seems good.
Okay.
I don't know much about it. I know it launched today, and I know I didn't get a code, so I don't get to play it. And I was complaining about it on the Destiny Rising server earlier, and one of the moderators said, "Hey," or what did I say exactly? Somebody was like, "Oh, all the streamers getting that special attention," and I was like, "Bitch, I'm a Twitch partner, and I didn't get a code, and I'm not getting any special attention." And then a moderator DM'd me and was like, "Hey, if you're a Twitch partner, you should fill out this special link." So,
well, listen, when you get your pot of codes, after filling out that link, send me one, will you?
I was like, "Oh damn." Anyway, so I filled it out. I haven't heard back from them yet, but
when you get your 10 codes, just DM one my way.
I fucking laughed so hard when that happened.
Have you been watching people play today?
No, I look at one clip on Twitter and then I was like, boom. That's enough for me. I want to play the game. But also, I might watch Shadow's supposed to do an hour tomorrow on the extra live stream. So I might watch that. I
watched a couple of people play on YouTube clips, and then I watched Mactix stream it. It's like playing Destiny if Destiny were out on the PS2.
Nice.
What it feels like.
Well, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm interested.
And it's super gotcha. Some people are trying to say that it's not gotcha, but I wouldn't expect the alpha to be completely full of monetization just yet. But it's got, you know, it's got random draws, get characters and stuff, and there's multiple star versions of characters. So, you know, it's pretty typical Genshin looking stuff. It's also a fucking killer for your phone. Like, play that stuff for 30 minutes and your 100% phone is down to like 15%. Big resource hog. Which you expect.
That's a little insane. Give me that shit on Steam, yo. I'll play it on my Steam Deck all fucking day long.
I mean, throw it on BlueStacks, man. Play it on your computer all you want.
I want to play it on my computer. I want to play it on my Steam Deck. It's a mobile game. It's not a computer game.
Get one of those fancy things that attaches to your phone that gives you the bigger screen.
Does it give you a bigger battery?
I mean, you just plug your phone in.
Then you're not mobile. You're missing the point of a mobile game.
Listen, Greener, you don't need to be playing Destiny Rising while you're driving.
Okay, but what if I'm flying?
Your phone shouldn't be on anyway.
They literally have Wi-Fi on planes now. Just calm down. All right, whatever. Anyway, or if somebody's driving you, you're in the back of an Uber. That happens sometimes.
There are a few people that I'm hoping are trolling on Twitter and for some reason on Destiny's forums that are already mad about the apparent monetization, and I'm thinking to myself, what did you think you were about to get? But it's a game. It's an RPG for the phone by NetEase. What?
That's free. That's important. But
What did you think you were getting? You're gonna get stamina. Or resin. You're going to get loot boxes that have shitty drop rates. You know, that just what you're gonna get. And you're gonna be able to get around to all of that by simply opening up your wallet and spending sufficient amount of money. Like, that's the model. I mean, the game looks all right. It's obviously downgraded graphics on the phone, but guns sound good. Gameplay looks like Destiny. It's a little slower than Destiny, but looks like Destiny at a lower frame rate. The only thing that's weird about the alpha is that there's still a lot of placeholder audio in there.
Yeah.
All the placeholder audio is using the same AI voice bot to fill out the role. So there are some conversations where it's just an AI voice bot having a conversation with itself. And when you encounter a fallen captain that's also using that same AI voice bot, and it says something like, "All of the light is mine," it's a little humorous.
All of the light is mine. I like that, actually. That's a good line. I like that line. Delightful. Hold on, I just gotta check something on my phone. Anyway, so I guess the point is I haven't played the game, but people are saying it's fun. It's not gonna break the internet or anything, but it's fun. Apparently, I don't know.
If you're into mobile gacha RPGs, this will probably be right up your alley. I hope you enjoy it.
Or if you just want a little Destiny on the go, like, you don't have to partake in all that nonsense, but I'm sure if you want to run a strike or something on your phone, you'd be allowed to without paying for anything. So have fun. Also, you got that one hot girl. So
She's not available for 5 days.
For 5 more days?
Yeah, she's in the store currently, the Alpha store, on a timer. And it says right on there, all you need to do is pull 60 loot boxes to get her guaranteed.
Nice. Fuck, they're smart. Fuck, they're smart. God damn.
Yes. For 60 loot boxes, you can be guaranteed your own.
How much is a loot box?
Goth mommy, warlock with a scythe. I don't know. I didn't look at any of the monetization. I don't care, because as much money as I've given to Bungie, the amount of money I'm ever going to give to NetEase for Destiny Rising is approximately $0.00.
He plays it. He loves it. He's like, oh shit, I'm gonna give them money. Let's wait for it. That'd be funny. I'd laugh.
I mean, I say that as a guy who just bought all 3 of the wizard outfits for Festival of the Lost. So, you know.
Yeah, but I'm sure you have plenty of Bright Dust.
I did buy 2 of the sets with Bright Dust. That is true.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I gave him $20. Or whatever it is. I don't know. How much are the silver for those? 15 or 2,000?
I bought $20 of silver, but they're 1,500 silver, so 50.
Cool. Well, yeah, I saw your note, Tribal. I'll reach out to you on Discord. Thanks. Sorry, I responded to the chat, but he said the same thing twice. I had to make sure that.
That's fine.
He didn't
I also saw that
him.
he said the same thing twice. Shall we?
Yeah.
Speaking of wizard sets, shall we talk about Festival of the Lost?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so oh shit, here we go. Anyway, Festival of the Lost dropped this Tuesday, and holy fuck! All right, yeah, go ahead. You seem like you're rare and ready to go. There's a lot of bugs. Rex will tell you about them.
Yeah, Festival of the Lost definitely dropped. I'm not gonna yell and scream about it, but there are some interesting things to note. Number 1, Festival of the Lost dropped in a bug state again, and nobody is surprised by this. Okay. Number 2, I found it very interesting that they took out the spectral page to manifested page loop. And this is one of those instances where I think their marketing people. All right, Devilito, I'm breaking the fourth wall. I did not yell. I simply moved away from my mic and stopped talking quietly. Now, back to what I was doing. They removed the spectral pages to a manifested pages loop. And I feel like some of their marketing folks wrote the patch notes that went into that. Because what it says is they removed the spectral page farm, the spectral page loop, to make the event easier to complete. I submit that I think that is bullshit, and they are 100% gaslighting us. The real reason the spectral page, the manifested page loop is no longer in the game is because they knew that shit was going to be broken for the 4th time. The 4th time in a row. So they're like, you know what? We've taken a lot of L's lately, especially with WeightGate. We got to pull this shit right the fuck out of this game right now, so there's not more shit getting thrown at us. And then finally, Festival of the Lost will launch in a working state. But oh no! For some people, when you load in the Festival of the Lost, you go to Eva, you try to get your quest, you'd wind up with the Solstice quest instead of the Festival of the Lost quest. I can grab the Solstice quest from her right now if I want to, in point of fact. And none of the weapons had new perks dropping off the rip. Also, I find it very interesting that all of the guns are focusable except for Braytech Werewolf. They refreshed the perk pool. Why is the only way you can get that gun through random drops? Why is it not focusable? I submit that's also a bug. Anyway, so Festival of Lost is not unplayably broken like it was before, where you couldn't turn in your pages because they wouldn't ever convert. It would just take your spectral or manifested pages away, and they wouldn't do anything. But it was still a bug. It's still a buggy mess on launch for sure.
So, yes, buggy launch. Last year's perk pool, guns, wrong. Solstice, garbage. They removed that shit. I gotta ask if your theory is true, and they pulled that out of the game because they didn't want to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
How fucking hard could that have been to fix? Like, could they not have spared one person for like 3 days sometime in the last 3 fucking years to go through and fix that bug?
Apparently not. Apparently it was easier just to yank that bitch right out of there. I mean, I could be wrong. This could just be me being hyperbolic.
Okay, but even if you're not wrong, there was 3 years back to back that shit was happening. Like, how did they not fix? How did that not get fixed?
I don't know, but it's a common theme with their events, though. You know, a new seasonal one of these events comes out, and if there was a certain bug in it the last time, the bug is probably still going to exist this time, right? Even if they fix it at some point. That's the part that gets me. Like, both times they fixed the spectral page bug within a few days of the event launching, before the first week was up. Whatever they did to fix it, why didn't that just go into the file that they're clearly copy pasting into the events folder?
It makes me wonder too. Like, we get these events yearly. Once in a while, they get a little, like, Guardian Games this year was different. Not a lot, but it was different. So they must have had to do some work on it. Solstice was exactly the same, right? Yeah. What other one is there? Dawning. That was probably exactly the same. Like, I just don't understand how they're not putting any effort into these 4 major events. Like, it wouldn't take a lot. A couple people. They have 800 employees. They put a couple people on each one of those for the year, and they could actually come up with something interesting, fix the bugs, come up with something interesting that was a little bit different, make your player base happy so they keep playing the game. Like, I don't get it.
I don't even listen in terms of, like, if we're talking about, like, if we just use Festival of Lost as an example.
Yeah.
Even if they flip-flop back and forth year over year between the haunted sectors and the haunted forest, I'd be perfectly fine with that, because I wasn't repeating the same thing 2 years in a row. It'd be fine.
Yeah, every time.
So I don't know. I presume it has to do with ROI. You know, if there's not enough money coming in from the event, then they're not going to. They probably can't justify setting aside the resources to improve it or change it.
Okay, but based on the amount of changes that they put into it, then they're not making any money off of these events. So,
I mean, that
why keep doing them?
Are you buying an event pass?
I mean, yes, I do. I buy an event pass every time.
Why? Nothing in it.
Because one day I'm hoping they actually take that money and fucking do something with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fair.
And I don't know why I liked the Ghost on the event pass this year.
All right,
it's worth $10. I already had 1,200 silver on my account, so it came right up and I clicked it. I just held the button down, and then I had a new Ghost and a new shader and a new Sparrow or something. I don't fucking know.
All right.
I don't know how many people buy those. It's a good point, though. But then how many people buy the outfits too, right? You did.
I mean, I did. And
That's considered an event purchase.
Even if I hadn't had enough Bright Dust for 2 sets, I would have been willing to shell out the cash for 2 sets. I probably wouldn't have shelled out $60 to get all 3, but
you would have got
$45 to get all 3. But
see, there you go. That's a perfect example. There's over 1 million people still playing Destiny. Like, what do they need? 5% return rate to make their money back?
I mean, that does beg the question about how much money is coming in relative to the amount of work that's going to the game.
It makes me wonder, how much they're actually reinvesting back into the game, because I feel like it's really low.
I know we're never going to get that information, but I would be interested to see how much of the resources that Destiny is generating actually go back into Destiny rather than into, other projects like Marathon right now.
Yeah, I mean, it does make you wonder. And it does feel like they're bungling what they have. Because Destiny is it's the best looter shooter, multiplayer, most successful one of all time. And since the final shape dropped, like, they're like, okay, so we're doing less and less and less and less stuff every year, and we're not looking to a sequel. That's like, okay.
They got a hit with Apollo, man.
Well, that's what I mean. It's not gonna be like. It's not gonna. It's gonna be like the final shape hit. Now look at the state of the game. Like, there's no way it's gonna be as good as the final shape.
I mean, we know that, but even if it's 75% as good or 60% as good, that might be enough if we're getting 60% as good twice a year,
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just don't. They need
Destiny feels.
They need to do something else.
Destiny feels like it's on its way out, which it makes sense for as long as.
So why aren't they planning for what's happening next? Like, is that Marathon? Do they expect everyone to just bounce over to Marathon? Because they're not going to. There's a lot of people that play Destiny that don't like extraction shooters. Why is there not a Destiny 3 lined up? It's unbelievable to me. Unbelievable to me.
Who knows? I think it's because Bungie had too much going on internally, too many projects.
That's what happened over the last year.
They couldn't fit Destiny 3 development into the budget. Now that Sony is back, is the one with the whip, who knows what'll happen. If Sony thinks they can make money with Destiny 3, then Destiny 3 is going to happen, right?
Yeah, but the problem is, like, if that just happened, that we're 4 years away from a game. Minimum.
Maybe. How long did it take for them to develop Destiny 2 after Destiny 1 released?
I don't know. It came out 3 years later, so if they started immediately,
so
3 years.
If you assume they don't use a brand new engine, they use the same old engine. It's
But listen,
they could asset flip Destiny 3.
If they drop a Destiny 3 in the same state Destiny 2 was in year one, no one will play. No one will play it.
Yeah. Sure.
We've gotten to a point where we expect more. We didn't expect more from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2. And we were ultimately happy with what Destiny 2 was, even though over the year we got like, it's pretty rough. And then we got Forsaken, which saved it. So I don't know. I plan on playing Marathon. I don't see it holding the same weight as Destiny, right?
It's a different game. But I guess it depends on how hard the PvE portion of Marathon.
They might have this crazy plan for it that's awesome. Who the fuck knows? I just don't see it. I don't see it.
All right, well, speaking of Marathon.
Oh, yeah, they did do that little thing. Yeah, I
Is it on
clicked the
Steam,
little
actually?
button that said.
There's a small dev stream kind of thing.
Yeah, I watched the dev stream. I don't remember being particularly impressed with it, but
Well, there wasn't much information, so
no, he just talked about stuff. And that was it. Said wishlist the game. I did watch a couple of videos that would be like, "You guys didn't tell us anything. Why would we wishlist it? Who the fuck cares? Wishlisting doesn't do anything other than gives you updates of what's coming. Just fucking click the button."
well, I trust Destiny to make a shooter that feels good to play, and even though
Yes.
extraction shooters are not my thing, PvP extraction shooters in particular, free to play PvP extraction shooters that are inevitably infested by cheaters are not my thing to play. I'm still going to give Marathon a try. I will
Didn't
probably
they say this was
pre-order
supposed to
it.
cost $40?
Yeah, I
You
will.
said
I
free
will.
to play.
I will definitely give it a try. I will definitely throw some money at whatever their first season pass looks like. And then if it's good, I'll stick around. And if I don't like it, then, whatever.
Honestly, I hope I fucking love it. I hope it's
Me
one of those
too.
games that you play every night and you just can't stop.
I highly doubt it's going to be a bad feeling shooter. It'll probably feel good like most Bungie, like a Bungie shooter does.
Yeah, absolutely. But part of the reason I like extraction shooters is because all of them feel janky, and I feel like Bungie doesn't do jank when it comes to shooting.
Yeah. Well, listen. I'm just glad that we already know there's going to be dedicated servers. Can you imagine if they launched a fucking PvP extraction shooter that was peer to peer? That would be horrendous.
I'm just gonna. It's not pure PvP though.
Devilito, it's
be
not
clear.
pure PvP. There's heavy PvE
So-
element from what we've been told.
So what happens is you get dropped into a world with a bunch of PvE danger in it. And while you're playing in the PvE danger, there's potential for PvP to happen based on where you are and if somebody else is dropped in the same area. It's not just PvP.
Think of it like Gambit if the other team was always present on your board and you could always fight them.
But they could also be 4 miles away.
Yeah. And there could be 4 other teams, not just
Like,
one.
I don't know how Marathon plans on handling it, but like Tarkov, for example, you're dropped into a PvE world. It's a pretty big, typically they're pretty decent sized maps, and there's usually like, I don't know, 5 or 6 other players that are dropped in there as well. And then that's it. You've got 100 PvE, 5 players. The PvE can kill the other players. You can kill the other players. The other players can kill you. But it's not, that does not sound fun at all. Oh, okay. All right, well, to each their own. I love extraction shooters. I used to love the Dark Zone in the Division, which is basically just an extraction shooter zone. I loved Tarkov for as long as I played it. I stopped playing it. What other extraction shooters have I played?
Evolito just doesn't understand the pure joy you get out of getting the drop on another player whose bags are overstuffed with fat loot.
My god!
And then
it feels
you
so
take
good.
all the shit he has, and it's like it's fucking gold, and then you extract with it. The high you get from doing that is 10 times better than the high you get from completing a raid and getting an exotic in Destiny. 10 times
good.
higher.
It's so good. Though I'll tell you, it's not as good as completing a day 1 raid. Like a contest mode raid.
Well, I mean, listen.
That feels good.
The downside is you go into your next match with all this cool ass loot that you just got, and
lose it.
Before you even get a chance to loot anything, somebody nukes you from across the map that you didn't see because they had a sniper rifle, and then they come and steal your shit. And you forgot to buy insurance. So now it's all just gone.
Sea of Thieves is actually a perfect example. That's exactly what this would be like. Squirrel, thanks for the gift. Appreciate it.
Well, Sea of Thieves these days is kind of like It's almost
the
like
same
kiddie
thing, though,
pool PvP because there's ways now to flag yourself in there to where
Oh, is
people
there?
know that you're only doing PvE shit, and there are actually factions who you can sign on who your whole job is to go around and kill people who are griefing PvE players. Like that's what you're getting repped for, right? So they put a little bit of Care Bear shit into Sea of Thieves for some people who really don't like getting ganked all the time.
You know what I noticed recently? It's just you're bringing this up, and it made me think of some of the stuff that I've seen recently about the classic hardcore WoW. Have you seen any of that stuff?
I've watched some people play classic hardcore WoW. Mostly montages of people losing their hardcore characters and having a shit fit.
What is with no like what I keep seeing on TikTok? I don't know if it's in my algorithm or whatever, but it's essentially it's people agreeing to do a PvP duel in classic hardcore WoW. They're at like level 33, and if you know anything about, you may play WoW now and like, oh, level 33, who cares? You can do that in a day. You couldn't do that in classic. That wouldn't take ridiculously long, but it would probably take like, I can't remember how long it would take to get to like level 30, but a week or so, maybe more, longer.
Hours.
I don't know.
Of progress. For sure.
I remember it used to take. I remember it taking me like, I don't know, months to get there when I did it originally, but I wasn't a crazy hardcore WoW player. But anyway, so the point is, they agree to these duels and then they lose, and your character is just dead, gone. You have to start over. That's crazy to me. What are they doing? That's unbelievable. Like, I used to play DayZ, like the mod version, not the standalone that came out, but the mod version. And the rush of that game was if you die, you lose everything. But you lose like 2 hours of progress, not weeks or a week of progress. Like there was never that you never lasted that long in the game. Like it was always just like you'd spawn in, you'd go find some shit up at the Northwest Airfield or whatever, go into one of the cities, and then you would just camp and kill people for fun. Like I don't know why that's it, but I loved it.
Well,
but
there's a whole genre of people that play games in that loop right now, like Rust players, man. Between when new wipe starts,
yeah, but
they go and build up all their shit, and they take hours and hours and hours, especially if they're doing it solo, to get their shit built up. And then it's either you get raided and it's all gone, or wipe comes and resets everything again.
Well, that's what Tarkov does. They do a wipe every few months, but people get excited for wipe because they're like, they like to start fresh. It's just weird. It's not weird, actually. It's because after a couple months into a wipe, people are kitted beyond reason. Yeah. Because you get to keep your stuff. And Marathon's going to be like that too. So expect there to be some sort of wipe mechanic in Marathon. I'm not saying there's going to be, but it depends on how much stuff you get to keep and how you get to keep it and how much better guns are. If it's anything like Destiny, none of the guns are better than the other guns, so it doesn't fucking matter. But guns in like Tarkov, for example, like the further you go and the more money you have, the significant advantage you have. So further into the wipe.
Well, not even just guns, like the attachments you have on the guns, the kind of ammunition you're using for those
that's
guns.
What I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about specifically. I just wasn't gonna confuse
the kind
people.
of armor you have to not get killed by those guns.
Yeah. Because when you start talking about Tarkov and the fact that you need specific bullets to put inside your clips to kill certain people with certain armor, their eyes glaze over.
Yeah.
And it's not just like 3 types of bullets, guys. It's like there's like 4. Oh. There's like, I don't know, there's like 30 different types of rounds for each, for like there's 9mm, 45mm, and then there's different versions of the 45mm, and then each one has a different armor penetration rating on which armor.
You start a game late into a wipe. There's some people you can't. There's some operators
you can't even kill. You shoot them in the head 40 times. Yeah, because they got a level 6 armor helmet, and you got a little fucking PP50 with like some one armor piercing 9mm clip.
I'm a new character. I'm gonna go in on my scav. Oh, there's a late wipe PMC. Doesn't even look at me, and I'm fucking dead.
You walk up, no, you somehow catch him off guard. You walk up to him with your pistol and you shoot him in the head, and the bullet bounces off his helmet and kills you.
I don't think that's going to be Marathon, though. I think Marathon will probably be a little bit more hand-holdy. I mean, maybe
It's gonna
not.
be more hand-holding. No,
Maybe
it
not.
really.
I don't think it's going to
Absolutely.
be as hardcore as Tarkov does.
From what I've heard, is Tarkov players hate it, Destiny players love it.
All right. Oh. Well, I'm looking forward to giving it a try. I hope it's good. I hope it's fun. I hope it's got some legs to it. But if not,
I shouldn't say Destiny players love it, but I heard positive things from Destiny players, and
I've heard a lot of positive things from Destiny
players.
streamers that were invited in. Yeah.
Yeah. But back 6 months ago, they did a Tarkov, whatever they call those things. Anyway, Tarkov streamer thing, and it wasn't positive feedback from what I understand. But when you grab a bunch of people that love the hardcoreness of Tarkov and you handhold like Destiny, of course they're not going to like it. So anyway, I hope it's a nice balance in between, because I do like Destiny. I like the gunplay from Bungie, but I do like the hardcoreness of Tarkov. So you find a good match in there to pull in both audiences, you've made it, baby. We'll see. Anyway, let's get off track. Not really. We started talking about Marathon. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, Marathon. Let's go. Yeah.
I'd say we could talk about the TWID, but there's nothing in there except for
there is nothing in the TWID. Nothing in the TWID. Not a fucking
think that's
link.
it.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Short one.
Everybody that's listening or watching this, voting for Festival of the Lost Transmog and Costume Contest is going to open up this weekend. I'll be opening it up tomorrow at some point. Won't be tonight, it'll be tomorrow sometime. Announcement will go out. It'll be during the catastrophe or during the 48-hour stream, but maybe Greener can take some time to go vote or go look at some submissions while he's in the middle of his stream, perhaps. We actually got like 4 costume contest entrants this time.
4?
I think we got 4.
Oh, yeah, take a picture of me.
It's too late now. Sorry.
I am immune to rules.
Yeah, that's how that works. All right.
It should.
Yeah. No, sorry. Anyway, can't even breathe in that thing. Stop it.
I have another costume for tomorrow that I might pop out.
You should have your Sailor Moon wig on and then have that mask on.
I wanted to do French maid karaoke, but Gato wasn't available.
Oh, sadness. And I wish I was. No, I don't. Never mind.
You wish you were what?
I was definitely not going to say I wish I was available. No.
He was going to dress up as a banana. I was going to dress up as a French maid.
All right. Well, plug the stream, even though this is coming out after the stream starts.
Yeah, but for the people here live, yes, I put out a schedule today on shroudedgaming.com. If you head over there and check it out, you can see most of the schedule. There's still some slots that remain to be empty. If they continue to be empty, I'm just going to fill them randomly throughout the stream. But we start tomorrow at noon Eastern, and we go all the way until November 4th at noon Eastern. That actually means it's a 49-hour stream because the clocks change tomorrow, Sunday morning at 2 a.m. depending on your local time zone. Anyway, the schedule's there. It's got a bunch of stuff on there. Looks pretty awesome. There's a little thing at the bottom of we added a bunch of new things that you can get in game that you maybe didn't get from other charity. They're all there. And then of course, anyway, lots of stuff you can donate and earn and have fun and enjoy and watch. 48 hours. I'm not. I'm stoked, but I'm not stoked. You want to play Liar's Bar tomorrow at 6 o'clock Eastern?
6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock my time. Yeah.
Sorry, 7 o'clock Eastern for your time.
I can do it for an hour. Got raid at 5. Yeah.
Okay. We only have an hour scheduled for it, so.
Okay. I'm done.
I need to find somebody else. Who's the other person to play with? Dark. I wonder if Dark's available.
It's Dark and Tacos, right?
Well, Tacos was the one that asked me if I wanted to do it, so he's already involved. So it's me,
I'm
you, and
down.
Tacos right now. Okay, cool.
I actually just put Liar's Bar into my Steam favorites today.
Really? It's not that good.
I mean, it's something that I would play on the fly if somebody just wanted something.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Anyway, okay, yeah, so that's tomorrow at 7. Or, yeah, 7 Eastern. Fuck, these time zones are killing me. Anyway, make sure to swing by the stream tomorrow, guys, if you're here. If you somehow watch this on the... Well, no, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to put it out tomorrow. Anyway.
I'll get you a thumbnail tonight.
Okay, all right. I'll try to post it then. Edit it and post it. There's a bunch of stuff on there. Go if you already have everything, make sure to just donate to the kids. So shroudedgaming.com, and then there's a link right at the top of the page that says Extra Life 2024. Check it out. There is exactly 12 hours 36 minutes. Wait, that's not right. That's not when we're doing it. Whatever. There's a countdown there that's wrong. It says 12 hours 36 minutes, but it's 15 hours and 36 minutes. Rip. Anyway, starts tomorrow. We did get a donation today. I wonder what that's for. I never even looked. Cool. Anyway, go donate. You're all awesome. And it's really important that you come. All right. And you watch and you donate and you bring all your friends and you lurk if possible. Because the higher up the list we are, the more people come check it out, the more people donate. That's just the way it works. It's a matter of a fact. And what I've noticed recently to everybody, I didn't know what was doing this the other day, and I think I figured it out. Recently, our numbers have been fluctuating like this throughout the whole stream. And I think it's because we're now listed on the Advanced GG stream team. And I think people are clicking through because there's a lot of people on there that have thousands of viewers and whatnot. People click the team and then they click through. And they're looking through people. Anyway, so the higher up that list we are, the better. The more people come swing in, maybe donate. So, yeah, make sure to lurk tomorrow if you can. Bring your whole clans, all of you, everyone. All right, all staff, all 160 staff. It's mandatory. Lurk. All right, goodbye.
No.
That's it. That's it for the podcast. Thanks so much for watching episode, I think it was 83 of This Week of Shrouded. I was your host, Ed Greener. Thanks for Mr. Rex for being here. And I'm super excited for Extra Life 2024. Let's go. Have a good night.